In 2003, I gave up cable TV because it was nothing but a time-eating monster. Reruns of reruns, rinse, repeat, and replay. I did watch free TV broadcasting because I felt like I was somehow beating the system. At the time, the only quote-unquote programming I was watching was PBS, believing somehow that it was the only programming which offered an in-depth analysis of current events. But after some study and a closer look at who funds some of this programming, it occurred to me that I was most likely getting information with no substance. There was nothing being discussed which talked about solutions. I began to refer to it as nothing more than the "it is what it is" report. What I did find is that even though PBS was drilling down into the details of the crisis of the day, they were avoiding much of the discussion that matters to the larger picture and the solutions which usually follow. PBS became nothing more than one side of the left-right paradigm and nothing more than a control mechanism. But this audio is not about PBS. It's about the larger issue of television programming having its tentacles into every decision-making capacity of the human brain, and how television first renders the human ability to think critically by offering distractive content only to leave them with nothing of substance. On June 12, 2009, the U.S. switched from analog to digital. That's when I switched from analog to dialogue. I unplugged the television, stuffed the rabbit ears into a box, and hauled the TV off for target practice, as is fitting. With respect to information, or a lack thereof, television is not the only culprit or tool for keeping people in the dark, distracted, confused, and talking about issues as though they are informed. I know I'm guilty of thinking that I am informed, all the while blinded by most of the actionable information that goes along with solutions and planning for future generations. But every form of media which is owned by a handful of very wealthy, very powerful moguls with an agenda, each of which is used to bombard us with glittering generalities, inaccurate or incomplete information, photoshopped dreamscapes, and a constant desire for a better future that cannot be achieved on our current path. We are destined to be hopeless dreamers under the hypnosis of media. I don't know who to ask about how to organize a mass breakaway from television. I don't know how to organize an idea this big. But I have put a lot of energy into making people take inventory of the amount of time used up by television, because I detest what television has become and how truly detrimental it is to the human psyche. There has to be a way to fight back. There has to be a way to put a dent in this huge time-eating monster we call television. In my dreams, there would be scores, thousands, tens of thousands of people in the streets with their televisions and a nice big sledgehammer, just taking out all their aggressions. Because it would definitely send a signal to all of the people behind the scenes that are developing programming and feeding us tripe via the tube in the corner of our living rooms. So I expect that I'll be marginalized, attacked, called everything under the sun for even suggesting that a large swath of the population find a new use for that corner in the living room, or the entertainment system in the bedroom, and most importantly, the digital babysitter that's always on call with a cartoon or a video game or some programming that alienates young minds during the most impressionable times of their lives. Just something to think about. Thanks for listening.